It's the busiest time of year for flower sellers and growers here at the Sydney flower markets and across the country. Filling orders for around 5 million stems of roses is no easy feat to do locally. That's why hundreds of thousands of roses are imported from places like India, South America and Africa. Denis Secco is the chairman of the Australian Flower Council and he's also a seller here at the Sydney flower markets. Denis, how has local production been this year?
The local production this year has been much slower due to the excessive heat. The 40 degrees day really put a lot of pressure on the flowers, and it forced the flowers to actually be shorter, the stems, and because of that we've been forced to import in longer roses from overseas. These are 60 centimetre, this is what the florists require in length. These have been here since Monday. And so far they're looking excellent, and hopefully they will continue looking like this next week.
Denis, what are some of the other reasons that you import roses?
One of the main issues we're having at the moment is a carbon charge, which is making flower growing here in Australia not really profitable, and I would say in the future there's going to be less flower growers because of this charge and the high cost of labour. And we're actually just forced to bring in more roses. Also, the Australian dollar is very strong at the moment, and it's making the roses, all the roses coming in, is reasonably cheap.
And there's also strict quarantine rules when roses are brought in as well.
That's correct. The roses have to be fumigated, and they have to be treated overseas or locally with Roundup, which is a procedure that the roses are put into buckets for 20 minutes in a solution of weed killer, and that is to ensure that you cannot propagate from that material. And the fumigation is to ensure that no insects come into the country, but there is a concern from growers that the procedures of dipping overseas is, especially being done in third world countries, isn't being done properly.
Would you like to see the dipping of the roses in herbicide and the fumigation done onshore?
The Australian Flower Council, which represents the New South Wales, Queensland, Victorian growers, have all voted in favour of that procedure being done here. And we believe that if it is done here, the quarantine officials would be a lot more strict and would be done correctly.
Would you like to see Australian flowers and overseas flowers labelled from their country of origin? Definitely.
I think the customer should have a choice of if they want to purchase Australian, Colombian, Indian, African. And I compare that to when I go into a fruit shop to buy fruit. If I see Australian grown product, that's my preference, and then I'll choose another product if Australian's not available.